Scroll through any social media feed today and you'll find the same claim. A smartphone is all you need to replace a full-time income. In 2026, the software has become so capable that the traditional requirement for a degree or startup capital has effectively vanished. The methods being promoted are diverse: writing SEO articles, launching faceless YouTube channels, generating mid-journey logos, selling AI voiceovers, social media management, digital books, website building, short-form clips, and even selling prompt packages. And you have 9 distinct paths to supposedly easy wealth. These narratives are inescapable because social media algorithms prioritize content that promises a high reward for minimal effort. The idea of a passive income stream, where the machine does the work, is the perfect hook for maximum engagement. However, there is a logical flaw in this premise. If a task only requires a 30-second prompt that any of the 4 billion people with internet access can write, the market value of that task naturally approaches zero. Mastering the tool is no longer the bottleneck to making money. The software is now capable of producing professional-grade output for anyone. The true bottleneck is finding a client or an audience willing to pay for what you've generated. Traditionally, the primary cost of a digital business was production friction. Hiring human developers to code a site or writers to craft a content strategy required a significant budget and weeks of time. AI has solved this production problem. One person can now generate a month's worth of marketing assets, a complete website, or an entire book in a matter of hours. This ease of production has created an infinite supply of digital assets. Consequently, the challenge has shifted entirely to distribution: how to get your specific product noticed in an ocean of identical AI-generated content. To evaluate these methods, we map them on this quadrant chart. The x-axis measures client acquisition friction, the effort and rejection endured to find a buyer. The y-axis measures scalable income potential, the difference between one-off gigs and building long-term recurring revenue. This framework shifts the focus from what the AI can make to a more practical question: which product is actually worth the time it takes to find a buyer? The first category is the saturated gig economy. This covers the most popular entry-level services, selling AI-generated writing, logos, voiceovers, and prompt packages on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. This path requires minimal input. A beginner can set up a profile and start bidding on jobs within minutes of discovering the tools. On the surface, the outcome looks promising. Charging $50 for a logo that took 3 minutes to generate suggests a high hourly rate. Because the execution barrier is so low, thousands of people are doing the exact same thing. This creates a race-to-the-bottom pricing war, where freelancers are often forced to lower their rates just to stay competitive. In this environment, the majority of your time isn't spent being creative with AI. It's spent sending cold proposals and tweaking your profile to survive the platform's algorithm. On our chart, these services land in the bottom right quadrant. Client friction is high, but income potential stays low. The time allocation reality is stark. Users spend 90% of their day pitching and only 10% actually using AI. The second category is digital asset farming. This includes building faceless YouTube channels, AI-generated TikTok clips, and Amazon KDP books or courses. This path requires significant upfront labor. You must produce dozens of videos or entire books for free to build an audience before any revenue starts to trickle in. If a project gains traction, you've built a permanent digital asset. It can generate passive royalties or ad revenue for years with very little maintenance. This is an algorithmic lottery. Because the volume of AI content is so high, platforms like YouTube require a massive amount of output just to give your content a chance to be seen. You are trading immediate payment for a volatile chance at future scale. You are working for an algorithm rather than a human client. This category sits in the top left quadrant. You don't have to pitch clients, but you are dependent on the platform for distribution, which allows for high scalability if the algorithm picks you up. This model is only sustainable for those with a high tolerance for delayed gratification. It is a long-term play that offers no immediate income. The third category is high-friction, high-yield B2B services. This involves building complete websites with Claude or managing full-month social media content retainers for local businesses. To succeed here, you must master multi-step AI workflows and directly pitch business owners who are too busy to use these tools themselves. The outcome is a high-ticket, recurring monthly retainer. You are solving a critical operational problem, like a business's lack of an online presence, which justifies a higher price point. However, this comes with the friction of client management. You have to handle revisions, meetings, and individual demands, tasks that AI cannot automate. Success here requires a shift into a consultant role, where the AI is simply the engine you use to fulfill contracts faster than a traditional agency could. This completes our map in the top right quadrant. These services offer the highest financial returns, but they also demand the highest level of direct human interaction and sales skill. B2B services are the most lucrative path, but they are also the most difficult for those who prefer to stay behind a screen and avoid direct sales. Profitable side hustles require matching your specific personal resources to the right business model, rather than picking whichever tool looks the most entertaining. This decision tree starts with identifying your primary advantage. If your primary advantage is patience and you have no immediate need for cash, focus on digital asset farming. Spend your time building equity in a YouTube channel or a library of books. If you have strong communication skills, bypass the crowded gig platforms. Pitch AI-driven solutions directly to local businesses to secure high-yield retainers. If you need immediate income but lack sales experience, you must specialize. Selling niche, industry-specific prompt packages is the only way to stand out in the saturated gig market. Constantly switching between these paths is the most common reason for failure. Each model requires a different set of skills and a different type of persistence. Long-term success depends on choosing the business model that fits your natural strengths and your tolerance for specific types of work friction. In 2026, AI is a force multiplier for commercial effort. It makes efficient people faster, but it doesn't create value out of thin air. The mathematical reality is simple. If your underlying business strategy is zero, multiplying it by AI will still result in zero. As technical AI skills become more common, your ability to think strategically and communicate with humans becomes your only true competitive advantage. The real choice isn't which tool to use, it's which type of friction you are willing to endure to get paid. Stop researching lists of new tools and commit to mastering the distribution of just one. The winners in the modern AI economy are never the ones with the best prompts. They are the ones with the best distribution.